All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started with the session this afternoon. My name is Dr. Chris Porter. I am the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment for the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences here at Clemson. Behind the scenes, we have some team members who are helping out, monitoring the chat, answering your questions. We have representatives from the university's admissions office. We also have members of our recruitment team from the college. They're going to be doing their best to address your questions as they come in through the chat. If we can't answer all of the questions, do not fret. If you will, just shoot me an email. At the end of the session, I'll have my email address up on one of the slides. Just send those questions. So if we don't get your questions answered today or during the session, shoot me an email and we'll get those taken care of. Also, around 10:30 my time this morning, I did email everybody who was registered for the event this resource page. So a lot of your questions will be answered at the links provided on this PDF. So that's another resource for you. Feel free to check those links out. You're going to find questions about AP, Honors College, RISE, all the minors that we have available. Links are going to be on that resource page. So please check those out. Let's see what else. So the session today is going to be talking about the college as a whole. It is going to reflect a little bit more information towards the engineering side of the college. The School of Computing, which is the home to our computer science programs, they are doing some of their own interactive sessions. You can go visit their webpage and they will have links to their Zoom sessions and other content they're providing. So if you have any very specific computer science or computer information computer information questions, you're going to be able to find those on the School of Computing website. Okay, so let's get started. Again, Dr. Chris Porter here to help out. Thank you for being here today. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy. I hope you're adjusting to online learning. Believe me, I am ready for guests to be back on campus. I am ready to be back on campus. Uh, Cabin fever is starting to set in. Usually when I give these presentations, I am standing up in front of an auditorium of anywhere from 200 to 700 guests. As you can see today, I am presenting to you from my bedroom. Usually I'm up and walking around. This is a bit of a change for me to doing this sitting in front of a webcam. So bear with me. We'll get through this together. So College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Let's first and Amber, I am trying to click and advance the screen and it's not working for me. I believe I do. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and refresh my screen here for a second. Okay, I believe I'm back. Amber, if you could let me know in the chat. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Okay. Technology, everybody. It's a great thing when it works. Okay. Snapshot of what our freshman class looked like this past fall. The university brought in about 4,000 students. Engineering was about a quarter of those. And you can see the demographics for gender, as well as in-state and out-of-state. Students who wanted to join us for our computer science programs, computer science BA and BS, as well as our computer information systems. Those students apply to and come directly into our School of Computing. And you can see their numbers there. The applied sciences part of our name is geology. And we brought in 7 students. They also go directly into their discipline. You can see their demographics as well. Test scores, we accept both SAT and ACT. The university does not have a preference between the two exams. So please send us all of your test scores. We will filter through everything and find the best test or best combination of tests that will benefit you. Currently, we do super score on the SAT. Now, test scores are just one variable that we look at for admissions. Test scores are not everything, but everybody asks, what are your test scores? You can see our median SAT and ACT on the screen. Class rank, median top 10%. We fully recognize that not every school gives a class rank, and certainly schools differ in the caliber of student and the quality. So that is another variable we look at, but it's not the only thing we look at. But everybody asks, class rank, there it is. You can see our percentage of minority students, student athletes, as well as first generation students. First generation students, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Um, we're here to help out. We're here to help out all of our students, but we want to know who those first generation students are, because just another level of attention you might need, and we want to make sure you know what you should know. So for students who are joining us for general engineering, you have a common first year curriculum. And again, on the resource page, you can go visit our undergraduate catalog. The 2019-2020 catalog is online. The 2020-2021 should be available next month, but you can go on there and look at the curricula for all of our degree programs, both engineering, computing, as well as geology. Engineering students have a common first year, and they're taking classes like English, calculus, chemistry, physics, certainly engineering, and you also have general education requirements. Everything you take that first year applies to all 10 disciplines and essentially is helping you learn more about the world of engineering and helping you learn more about the different disciplines and which one is going to be right for you. Students who are looking at computing, that first year is almost identical, where the engineering students have engineering classes, the computing students will have computing classes. The calculus, the sciences, the general education courses, English, all of it moves back and forth. So some students might start off in engineering and realize, hey, computing's better for me. Let's get you moved over. Computing students can take our engineering classes if they'd like, and if they determine that engineering is a better fit, let's get you moved over. So there is a safety net there that you can be a shadow major, take some engineering classes as another major, and if you decide to move over, you're not going to be behind. So there's a nice safety net there. Now, many of you are doing dual education classes. You're also taking AP and IB coursework. Again, I want to refer to the resources on here. You can view our AP policy as well as our IB policy and see how those courses can benefit you at Clemson. Now, during summer orientation, which this summer it was announced that we are going to be doing online summer orientation. Don't worry, you're still going to get the help and resources you need. Advisors work with you to identify how that credit can come in, how you can use it, and then discuss should you use it. There's a big difference between having credit for AP Calculus and AP History. Now, we want to first show you what the policy is and how you can use it, but then let's have a nice one-on-one discussion about should you use it. And that goes for AP, IB, as well as any transfer coursework you might be bringing with you. Let's look at the courses. Let's talk about should you be using it or not, and then let's sign up for courses accordingly. And if you use some of that credit, normally what we do is just shift in a class from the next term or even the next year, depending upon what you're using. But you may decide to take a lighter load or maybe start working on a minor right away. We'll have those conversations at orientation. But don't feel like you can't use your credit. Don't feel like you have to use your credit. Let's talk about where you stand first and then discuss how you're going to use it. There were some questions, and by the way, we did receive all of the questions when you registered for this session. I have 4 pages of questions. A lot of these are going to be addressed already in my presentation. If I don't get to your particular question, remember the chat is open. And if we don't get to yours, just email me at the end of the session and we'll get that answered. Some of the questions, though, that first year were asking about studying abroad or co-oping or interning. Normally, you do not do that your first year. We want to make sure you have a year with us before you start doing the other things. But yes, all of our students can study abroad, co-ops, internships, minors, but let's wait at least a year. And it does differ by student and what credits you have, but you can do it, but just not right away. So the purpose of general engineering, again, all general engineering students apply to and are accepted into general engineering the first year. But we want to give you time to build up your skills, learn about the 10 different undergraduate disciplines we offer, give you time to visit departments, talk with faculty members, talk with your advisors, give you a whole nother year to learn about what's out there. You know, the more you know, the better prepared you're going to be to determine what major to go with. So I, I don't want to say I challenge you. I encourage you for the seniors, think about what your goal is. Do you have a dream job in mind? Are you thinking about med school, law school, dental school? Think about where it is you want to be and what you want to do. Don't focus so much on what a major is or what the name of a major is, because it might turn out there's a better discipline for what you're thinking about than what you're thinking about. So if you want to work in the automotive field, if you want to make better pharmaceuticals, if you want to make renewable energy more cost efficient, let us know what that goal is. And then we want to help show you what major or majors are the best way to get started on that path. So for all of our students, we have various exploration opportunities in addition to what we do in the classroom. We have a Meet the Majors night that we do in the fall. It's hosted by our General Engineering Advising Center. This is where we bring in all the disciplines, and students can come in and talk with upperclassmen and staff members about what those disciplines are all about. Industry Night is hosted by our Society of Women Engineers. Similar format, but it's a little bit more formal, and we bring in industry reps as well as alumni. This year, they also had a professional photographer come in where students could get headshots that they could use for their social media or their resume. Major Discovery Night is a much larger, more formal event that we have at our Watt Family Innovation Center. Bring in hundreds of companies, alumni, industry reps for students to learn about what's out there. And then we also have an optional class called Engineering 1000. This is a major discovery class that's primarily for engineering students that any student can sign up for this seminar. It meets twice a week for 6 weeks, 1 hour at a time. And the sole purpose of this class is for students to learn more about what's out there. So it's a great class if you're wavering between different majors or you just have absolutely no idea what you want to do. 1 hour class, it easily can be added to the standard curriculum. It's not going to overburden you. You sit, you listen, you ask questions. So it's definitely a class that you might want to bring up during your advising sessions at orientation if you just don't know what you want to do. So within the engineering portion of the college, we have 10 undergraduate engineering majors. Now on your screen, you see 9 blocks. If you do look in the center there, you see electrical and computer engineering. Those are two different majors, but they're both just housed in our Holcomb Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. On the top left, you see bioengineering. Now, about 90% of the country refers to it as biomedical engineering, but essentially it is the same thing. Now, as I say that, I want you to investigate the major at Clemson, look at the resources, and make sure it's going to prepare you for what you wanted to do. We have been doing bioengineering at Clemson since the 1960s. We have a very long history with the discipline. We started out as bioengineering. We just stuck with the name. All 10 disciplines are fully ABET accredited. ABET stands for the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technologies. That is the gold standard of accreditation that you should be looking for in a program. All 10 disciplines on your screen are offered as a bachelor's, a master's, as well as a PhD. All 10 disciplines offer an accelerated 5-year bachelor's master's. So if you would like your bachelor's and your master's to be in the same field, there is a 5-year path you can take instead of a traditional 4+2. Now, a master's is sorry, had a text message come in from one of my teammates. Um, a master's may not be required for what you want to do. You may only need a bachelor's, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to pursue a master's um, and you want it to be in the same discipline as your bachelor's degree, there is a 5-year path. Now, you do not have to declare this until the beginning of your junior year at the university. So there's time to think about, do I want a master's? Do I want it right away? Do I want it to be in the same discipline as my bachelor's? There's time to address those questions. But there is a 5-year path if you would like to pursue that. Now, beneath these names, you see some values, 3.0, 2.0, 2.6. These are the minimum GPAs you will need to have at the end of your freshman year to move into that discipline. So at Clemson, to move into the major you want, 1, you have to complete the first year curriculum. 2, you have to meet the minimum GPA for the major you want. So if you want to enter bioengineering as a sophomore, you have to have a minimum 3.0. Everyone else except for civil and mechanical are a 2.0. Civil and mechanical are a 2.6. Now let me stress, these are the minimum GPAs. We prefer that you have higher than these, but these values will get you into the major you want. There are no seat capacity issues. There are no interviews, no projects, no hurdles, nothing else you have to do besides completing the first year general engineering curriculum with the minimum GPA for the discipline you want. Very cut and dry. You are still looking at a 4-year program. You just have 1 year in general engineering and then 3 years on the actual discipline. So no surprises, curriculum, GPA, you are in the major that you want. And you will declare this at the end of your freshman year. And then once final grades come in at the end of the spring and your advisor sees that you have the proper GPA for the major you want, they will then change your major from general engineering and then into the discipline you want. So sometime over the summer, you now become a new major. Um, for our computing students and geology students, you start in your discipline, you stay in your discipline. There's no switching disciplines for you. So in general engineering, you are not sitting in a big lecture hall with 300 and 400 people. It does not happen. Our class sizes, each section of general engineering coursework, um, we cap those at 40 students. So you might be in a classroom that holds 80 students, but we're only going to have 40 in there. And you sit at round tables with maybe 6 or 7 other students. You can write on the glass, you can write on the whiteboards, the smart boards. Some have white tables you can write on. We want you working together. We want you to draw things out if you need to. If you have to visualize something, grab some dry erase markers, write on the whiteboards, write on the white tables. If you have a question about something, talk to your table mates first. We want you to learn to help each other, trust each other, collaborate on a problem. Now, if the table is stuck, then raise your hand and a faculty member will come over and help you out. In our general engineering classes, we also have undergraduate teaching assistants. We call them Utahs for short. They are not teaching the class, but they are there to help out if the faculty member is tied up helping another student. And we'll have usually 2 to 3 Utahs in the classroom with the professor. So you're in a class of 40 students, one professor, 2 to 3 Utahs. That's a pretty nice ratio of help in a freshman engineering class at a major research university. It's going to be hard to find that ratio anywhere else. Now, your other classes you take the first year, chemistry 1010 typically is the largest class. Those sections can get to maybe 125, the labs being much smaller. Your other classes like calculus, physics, English, general education classes, those are going to be much, much smaller. Don't be afraid that you're going to be in a class of 300 to 400 people at Clemson. Not going to happen. We don't have many lecture halls that big to begin with, but we're not going to put you in there as an engineering student. Don't worry about that. So earlier I'd mentioned about advising. All of our general engineering students, your first year you are advised through our General Engineering Advising Center. They are located on the bottom level of Holzendorf Hall, which is the home to general engineering. We have a dedicated team of 7 full-time advisors. That is all they do, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Their job is you. So if you have questions about anything, please go talk to your advisor. During summer orientation this year, um, you're going to meet all the advising staff. You're probably not going to know who your actual advisor is until right before the fall term starts. That's because we won't know how many students are actually coming into general engineering until the end of all the orientation sessions take place. But your actual advisor will contact you, introduce themselves, and you'll know who to go to. But that advising team, and really any advisor, they are there for whatever questions you have. Picking a major, maybe a financial aid policy, maybe you are considering dropping a class. How does that affect my GPA? Uh, but also things like roommate problems. You're homesick. You have a breakup and it's affecting you. Don't be afraid to go talk to your advisor. We want to tackle these issues before they get out of control. We don't want you coming in one day and saying, I don't like this. I'm ready to leave engineering. I'm ready to leave Clemson. We want you to address these issues right in the very beginning. Some of you are going to be a long way from home, and you can't just hop in your car and be home in 10 to 15 minutes. You need to learn to trust us and not be afraid to come in uh, and ask for help. Certainly, your professors can recognize if you're having some issues, but we can't always know what's going on in your mind. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. In addition to your advisor, we have other services like our Academic Success Center, our Redford Health Center. We also have our Center for Career and Professional Development. We also have our Student Accessibility Services Office. There is a ton of help and services here for you at Clemson. Again, sometimes we'll recognize if you're having an issue with something. Other times, we're going to ask you to be proactive and come see us. School of Computing students, same philosophy, but you're going to have an advisor in the School of Computing right away who's going to help you out. As well as for our geology students, you're going to have dedicated members within your actual major. Now, we have two additional support programs for our students, Peer and Wise. And on your screen, you can see what Peer and Wise do. Peer is primarily here for minority students within the college. Wise is here for our women students. Now, just because Peer and Wise have particular groups they work with doesn't mean you can't use those offices if you don't meet those criteria. Peer and Wise are here for all students, no matter who you are, what you look like, or where you come from. So if Peer and Wise are doing something you can benefit from, go to their offices. Peer and Wise are located in Freeman Hall. Freeman Hall is also the home to our industrial engineering program. Uh, Peer and Wise will reach out to students over the summer to introduce themselves, but don't be afraid to approach them, visit their website. Uh, if you think that Peer and Wise can help you with something, please go visit them and check them out. Now, we have a residence hall the first year for our students called RISE, Residence in Science and Engineering. There is a link to RISE on that resource page that I referred to. They have also hosted some Zoom sessions, and we're putting some videos on the college's YouTube page. We're putting a lot of content on the college's YouTube page that will help address some of our department tours that we can't do at this time. So I would encourage you to uh, go there. Uh, it's the Clemson University College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Just search for them on YouTube. We're putting together some playlists of content. We also have, gosh, probably over 100 videos there that talk about the college and everything we're doing. Just some great resources that we have up there since we can't have you on campus at this time. But with RISE, we have room for over 700 students. We have upperclassmen come in 5 nights a week to offer in-house tutoring. We have faculty members who have offices in RISE. We have their own makerspace. We cluster you together in the same sections of your core classes. We have a great study lounge, classroom space, uh, behind the scenes tours, guest speakers. It is a great place to be your first year as a student within our college. Uh, if you are having problems with homework, talk to your roommate, talk to your hallmates. If all else fails, just go downstairs Sunday through Thursday, and you're going to have upperclassmen down there who can help out not only with your engineering questions, but really any first year courses you're taking. Those upperclassmen are going to be there to help out. For out-of-state students, you might be the only one from your school visiting or joining us at Clemson. RISE could be a great fit. It's going to help break the ice, make that transition a little bit easier for you. So I definitely would encourage you to check out RISE when it comes time to make your housing choices. Now, Some of you might be joining the Honors College. Well, you can be a member of the Honors College and live in Rise your first year. Absolutely, you can do that. Now, if you are living in the Honors College, obviously you cannot also live in Rise. But all of the services that we offer Rise students, you're going to find on other parts of the university. We have tutoring for all of our students. It's just not as convenient as going downstairs in your residence hall to utilize that. We have tutoring all throughout campus. We have nighttime tutoring. We have daytime tutoring. Again, it's just not as convenient as going downstairs at night, um, but it's there for you. Um, Rise is only for the first year, so you will have to find other housing either on or off campus moving to your sophomore year. So there is a slight advantage for the Honors College where you can be there all 4 years. But again, personally, I think Rise is a good thing, not just because this is the college where I'm working, but just the support they offer for students, the community. I really think it is a good thing for students to check out. Speaking of honors, about half of the Honors College is made up of students from our college. The Honors College has its own living learning community, like Rise, but it's only for honor students. Now, some of the questions I did receive were, what if I didn't get into honors as a freshman? You can still apply for honors all the way through the beginning of your junior year at Clemson. And everything at that point is based upon what you've done as a Clemson student. High school class rank, test scores do not matter at that point. It's what have you done at Clemson? So all is not lost if you were not accepted into honors, or maybe you didn't even apply for honors as a high school student. If you think honors is a good fit for you, please apply for honors. With honors, you have to do at least one honors section of a class every semester. And it does not have to be what your major is. So don't think that you have to do honors engineering. Maybe in high school you loved history. Well, do your honors class as a history class. With honors, the actual classes will be smaller, more challenging, and they'll go more in depth into the material. And there are some classes that are honors only. There's not just an honors section of a regular class, it's an honors only class. Again, if you think honors is a good fit for you, check them out. At this point, the honors application is closed. So if you are an incoming student and you were not accepted for honors, you will have to wait till after you've been here at Clemson. For juniors who might be watching this, you will apply for honors after you complete the general admissions application. Global engagement, uh, kind of a strange time for global engagement. Another term for global engagement is study abroad. So as I'm talking, I'm going to be throwing those terms back and forth. But the university has its own global engagement office, and we can send you just about anywhere in the world and take classes that count towards your major. The college itself, the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences, also has its own global engagement office. And this way you can take actual engineering, computing, or even geology classes that count towards your major. Now, typically students who want to study abroad will not begin until at least after their freshman year. So some of you might want to do this the summer after your freshman year. The sooner you let us know you want to study abroad, the better. That way we can start mapping out when to take those classes, what the best format is. Maybe there's a particular country that you want to go to. Let's see what's available in that country. And maybe it's a summer class, a spring break, quick something, or a complete fall or spring overseas, the sooner you let us know, the sooner we can start working with you to map it out and still maybe be looking at a 4-year program. Um, Summer classes are pretty popular abroad because they don't interfere with your fall and spring coursework. But again, we have some students who do a complete fall or spring semester. And because we are looking at 12 to 15 hours, we want to start working with you to make sure we can find enough classes to get a full schedule together if you want to do a full-time program. Um, Now, maybe you want to go overseas, but not necessarily take a class. So at the bottom of your screen, you see Creative Inquiry, Engineers Without Borders, Clemson Engineers for Developing Countries. These are research and humanitarian programs where you're doing research or you're doing work for the good of that community. We've had engineers go to Haiti after the earthquake. They have been to Central and South America to build infrastructure that's damaged or was never built in the first place. We have bioengineers go over to Tanzania to work in children's hospitals. Uh, you're doing more humanitarian and volunteer work. So maybe that's a better path for you and what you want to do. Again, the sooner you let us know you want to do this, the sooner we can show you when and where you can go, the costs that are involved, and everything you need to do to prepare for that experience. Now, certainly if you want to do a political science or a theater class abroad, absolutely you can do that. But if you want to do engineering, computing work abroad, we can do that for you. Now, part of why you're coming to college is to prepare yourself for life after graduation. Now, the university, Clemson, has the #1 career services in the nation. Our Center for Career and Professional Development is the home to full-time jobs, part-time jobs, co-ops, and internships. For students in our college, co-ops and internships are not required. Now, if you are looking to go directly into the workforce or maybe apply for a graduate program that encourages work experience, certainly let's look at a co-op or internship. Now, co-ops, those are a 3-semester program. Engineering students begin co-oping the summer after their sophomore year, the spring of their junior year, and then the fall of their first senior year. When you are co-oping, you are not paying tuition, you are not taking classes. If you are receiving any scholarships from Clemson, or if you are a state of South Carolina student and you're receiving Palmetto Fellows or the Life Scholarship, those scholarships are put on hold. We're hitting the pause button. So you're not losing any money. So when you're co-oping, no tuition, no classes, no loss of scholarships. And co-ops are paid. Typically, our students are looking at $18 to $25 per hour. When you co-op, you stay with the same company for all 3 rotations. You are building a relationship with them. Your responsibilities increase, and hopefully that's going to lead to a job offer prior to graduation. Um, Internships, similar idea, but there's less of a commitment. You could do 1 internship with 1 company, or maybe you do 3 internships with 3 different companies. Maybe it's full-time, maybe it's part-time, maybe you do everything in the summer. It just depends on who you're working for. With both programs, the companies could keep you in the same location. They may rotate you to different parts of the country. Some students even go international with their co-ops. It just depends on who they're working for. So those are great questions to ask when we have our co-op and internship fairs on campus. Um, the same companies typically come back also for our career fairs. So as a freshman, go visit that #1 career center in the nation and talk to them about the services they offer, when to do things, when we when we're bringing people to campus, don't visit the Career Center as a senior. We can't make any promises if you show up the day before you graduate. The more you do during the time at Clemson, the better prepared you are for life after graduation. So, co-ops, typically engineers begin the summer after their sophomore year. Computing and geology students could begin the summer after their freshman year. And internships are there for all students. So if you want work experience as a student in our college, not required, but highly recommended. Now, in addition to co-ops and internships, there's so much more to do. Our students do everything. Um, 98 different minors. We have a new one coming on board this fall, the electrification of transportation. It's going to be through our electrical and computer engineering program. But if you're looking at electric vehicles, battery operation, smart grid, powering devices, it could be a really cool minor for you. We have things also like cybersecurity, sustainability, financial studies, economics, theater, turf grass, music, entrepreneurship, dozens and dozens to pick from. So I refer back to the resource page. If you visit our prospective student website, that first link, it'll get you to the minors page. Typically, a minor will be 4 to 5 additional classes, about 12 to 15 hours. Some are 18. The sooner you let us know that you're thinking about minoring in a field, let us know, because sometimes AP and IB credit can count towards that minor. Sometimes your major will actually have a lot of that minor already covered. If you look at our electrical engineering program, those students, if they want to pick up one more math class, they have a math minor in place. Your minor does not have to be related to engineering, as I said. So if you want to do something totally different, if you want to pick up a foreign language, perfectly fine. Just let us know as soon as you want to do that so we can start mapping out those courses for you. You know, we want you to have a life. We want you to have fun. We want you to do more than just go to class 5 days a week. So if you want to be in the marching band, if you want to be a dancer, if you want to be part of a theater group, ROTC, we have Army and Air Force on campus. If you want to do really anything, don't be afraid that you can't do something just because you're a student in our college. Yes, engineering, computing, and geology are pretty tough majors, but the rewards are great. And you can do this. We would not accept a student into the program if we didn't think they could do it. But do more. We want you to be a happy, healthy student. We want you to have a life outside of the classroom. So if music is a big part of who you are, join the marching band. You can actually get credit for being in the marching band that even applies towards one of your general education credits. If you want to join a fraternity or a sorority, if you want to be a student athlete, we have varsity athletes in our college. Or maybe you want to just, play intramural basketball. Perfectly fine. We have hundreds of clubs and organizations, religious, academic, social, service. There is always something to do. So part of college is certainly learning new things, but also making you a better person. Um, we're not a suitcase campus. Don't feel like everybody leaves on the weekends. Again, some of you might not be able to go home until maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas. Make sure we have what you're looking for. Make sure Clemson is the total package. If we're not the right fit for you, that's perfectly fine. Find that institution that has everything you're looking for, and that's where you should go. Um, but don't think that we're trying to weed you out, we're trying to get you to change majors. Totally not our philosophy. We want you to do more, but we also want to make sure that you balance your time wisely, utilize your resources, and do remember what you're here for and what's going to pay the bills when you graduate. So finally, your assignment, among all the other work that you're doing, please review those links in that PDF. Now, for some reason you did not get that email, you can see my email address there on your screen. The prospective student website is there, the clemson.edu address. That website is set up specifically for students who are considering attending, and also for seniors who are trying to determine if we're the right fit. We have been putting more content on the college's YouTube page. Our departments are recording presentations. They're also hosting Zoom sessions. We're doing as much as we can under the current environment to answer your questions and to show you as much as we possibly can without being on campus. So check out the college's YouTube page, check out our prospective student website. Our undergraduate view book you're going to find on that prospective student site. Certainly, if you have questions, if I didn't answer those 4 pages of questions during the session, and if they're not getting addressed in the chat, please shoot me an email. And we want to make sure that everything gets answered that you're looking for. Please watch those presentations. Reach out to the departments. If there is a particular office on campus that you don't know how to get in touch with them, email me. I'll be happy to get you in touch. All Clemson faculty and staff, we are working. We're just working remotely. So we are monitoring our phones and our email accounts. Might take slightly longer to get back to you than normal, but we will get back to you. With all that being said, I think we might let the chat run for just a little bit longer. We will get back to you with your questions. Again, check out the resource page. Shoot me an email if you have questions. But that wraps up my portion for today. I will go ahead and mute my video so you're not staring at me. We'll let the chat run for just a little bit longer. And then probably I'd say at 1 o'clock, we'll go ahead and shut this down for today. So thank you all for viewing, for attending. Believe me, I wish you could be on campus right now. If you haven't checked out the admissions video, they put together a nice kind of virtual tour of campus. You can also check out the campus webcams if you want to see how campus looks with not a lot of people around. It's a beautiful day today. Check those out. But thank you all for being here. I'm going to mute myself, but we'll keep this chat running until 1 o'clock. Y'all take care. Good luck with your classes. Good luck with the rest of your senior year. And have a great weekend.